Hey guys, this is EJ Holland with the Wolverine.com. Just wrapped up here at Brother Rice. Saw Brother Rice take down St. Mary's 10-7. Tough loss for Michigan specialist commit Tommy Doman. Tommy didn't get a chance to respond to a game-winning kick from Brother Rice, which was a little disappointing. This game was just really, really weird. It was low scoring, so you'd think there'd be a ton of punts. Tommy got a few punts in, but it was actually teams just taking up a ton of time of possession and just not scoring, whether it was turning the ball over or turning it over on downs. So it was a really odd game, low score. Tommy obviously didn't get to attempt a field goal, connected on his lone extra point attempt. He did impress me on the punting side. He had a couple of 50-yard punts, including there late in the game. Brother Rice drove down the field with I want to say 7 minutes left or something absurd like that, and kicked the game-winning field goal with 1 second left. But Tommy did his job. He was, punting from about the, I want to say 15-yard line, and he punted the ball all the way to the opposing, obviously, or the opposing 33. And so he gave them, he flipped the field in a sense, and St. Mary's defense just wasn't able to come away with a stop. But he had a great 50-yard punt on that one, and he got a ton of hang time, didn't allow for a return. So that was a great job on his end. He had another 50-yard punt earlier in the game where he pinned Brother Rice down inside the 20. But just opportunities, very few for Tommy Doman, but obviously very elite at what he does. I mean, has tremendous hang time. A lot of his punts are just not returnable. I saw him kick off, and he had a good kickoff to the end zone. So that was good to see. Honestly, Tommy is, this wasn't the best game to evaluate him at, and obviously, evaluating specialists can be a difficult task since I've only evaluated two in the past, and those were Michael Dixon and Cameron Dicker, both very, very good players at Texas. Michael Dixon, one of the best in the NFL as well. So looking at Tommy and comparing him to those guys, I think Tommy's right on par with them. I think Tommy's going to be elite at what he does. He's an All-American for a reason. Michigan offered him a scholarship for a reason. He's a weapon. And, I heard Brother Rice talking on the sideline. Their coaches were like, hey, towards the end of the half when St. Mary's had the ball with a minute left, they didn't get to the other end of the field. But Brother Rice's coaches were telling their players, hey, don't let up, because they have a weapon on the other side of the field that can basically kick from anywhere. He made a 53-yard field goal last week. So I think Tommy can be a true weapon for Michigan and be a combo guy. I know that's kind of hard to do, but I think he can be a kicker and a punter. I haven't had a chance to see him kick a lot. Obviously, he didn't do much today from the kicking aspect, but he's a hell of a punter. I know from people I've talked to, he's held in more high regard as a punter, but definitely showing his long distance and his kicking power last week with that 53-yard field goal. So kickers and punters, I mean, you have to take those guys every now and then, and I think Michigan found arguably the best in the country, and they can be true difference makers. Michael Dixon was a hell of a weapon for Texas years ago. Cameron Dicker, helped them beat a ranked OU team a couple years ago. So you need those guys in clutch situations. Tommy can flip the field. He can hit field goals when games matter. So he's going to be a guy that Michigan's going to be able to count on for years to come. On his team was 2022 linebacker target Jordan Cannon. Jordan's not a guy that a lot of people talk about. He's a three-star guy. He's really undersized. I'm 6'1". I have no reason to lie. I'm 6'1", and I've got at least 2 or 3 inches on him, so he's on the shorter side. He isn't like a big traditional inside linebacker. He has a little bit of a smaller frame, but he's very fast, has a nose for the football, very quick sideline to sideline. Speed is tremendous. He's a headhunter out there. He didn't make a ton of plays today. From the early clips I've seen of his junior film, he's one of the more interesting guys just because Michigan offered early, and I feel like he's more of a fringe guy as far as whether he would be a take or not right now. He's a good football player, but his size definitely hinders him. I saw him a couple of times trying to rush up the middle and get blown back by Brother Rice, who had some decent sized offensive linemen. So I think he just needs to get bigger, get stronger. Obviously, I don't know how much he's going to grow from an inches standpoint. Usually I don't, mind shorter inside linebackers. Like I really liked Cornell Wheeler a couple of cycles ago, and he was a shorter inside linebacker. I guess that was just last cycle. But he was a shorter inside linebacker, which I have no problem with. I like Kobe King, who's out of Detroit Cass Tech and committed to Penn State, and he's a little bit of a shorter inside linebacker. But those guys are big backers. Both of them, Cornell and Kobe King, were both more than 230 pounds. I would say like close to 240, to be honest, how big they are. I think Cornell was actually listed at 225, but I believe he's over 230 at Michigan. I mean, Kobe King looks like he could be approaching 240 with how big he is. But Jordan Cannon, I think, might be 200 pounds, maybe. So I think he just needs to get bigger and stronger. For him, he really needs to fill out that frame because he does have the size. He has the, he does have the speed, doesn't necessarily have the size. I think he can grow into a good inside linebacker recruit, but right now I still, one, need to see more from him on the field, and two, need to see how he fills out. So that's about it for me, guys. I appreciate you joining me. I've got a long drive back from Chicago after a 5-game weekend, so it was a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll have a ton of content coming to the Wolverine.com. If you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe for 60 days free. Just use the promo code BLUE60. That'll get you 60 days free. All right, guys, appreciate it.